sir.
Very good. And Subhansh, can you tell me why do we need to balance the equation?
We need to balance the equation to satisfy the law of conservation of mass.
Aryan, can you tell me what is law of conservation of mass? Aryan,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the law of conservation of mass?
Mass can neither be created in a chemical reaction. Mass can neither be created nor destroyed.
Very good. Zoha, good evening.
Ma'am, we got the definition of respiration.
Yes, Zoha is going to tell me the definition of respiration. Zoha, you asked about the definition from your biology, ma'am, right? So, what is the definition?
Ma'am, it's the process by which glucose breaks down into present or absence of energy.
Glucose breakdown to
Breaks down with the presence or absence of energy.
very nice. Not in the presence and absence of energy. In the presence of absence of oxygen, ma'am must have said, isn't it? To give energy, right? So, where was our change in temperature? Yeah. So, I had written here to ask about respiration. I'll add on here itself about respiration. What actually is respiration? Respiration is a process in which the glucose means the food which we eat. This is the glucose or the food which we eat. It reacts with the oxygen which we breathe in, leading to the formation of carbon dioxide gas which we give out, water, and lastly, it gives us energy in the form of ATP molecules. And this energy, the release of energy, is considered to be exothermic in nature. Clear, everyone? That is why I was giving you example of respiration in the exothermic process. I hope it is clear to everyone. Yeah. Okay, there is a new child, Meher. Good evening, Meher.
Good evening, ma'am.
Beta, I request you all to keep your videos turned on because it makes me like interact with you even more. It is for everyone, not just for Meher.
Ma'am, today my net is a bit laggy.
Then you write in the group that you cannot turn on the video today. Fine.
Okay,
So Sudhanshu, please keep your video on. Sudhamshu. Okay, he's not responding. Okay, children. So in the last class, we started with a bit of balancing in which I told you what is the need to balance the equation. Just last question left. I would like to ask from whom? From Siddhishri. Siddhishri, you are there? Siddhishri. Sudhamshu and Siddhishri, I should consider that you're not in the class, right? Fine. Sudhamshu, you have to unmute also, beta. Then only I will come to know you are there or not. Do you know what is the other name of unbalanced equation?
Ma'am,
No?
you haven't asked me, so can I answer?
Just wait Abhinav, for a moment. I have many questions to ask. Sudhamshu, do you know that?
No, ma'am.
Abhinav, you tell then.
Skeletal question.
So the other name of unbalanced equation is skeletal equation. Meher, beta, since you have joined just today, I have taught a few topics in the previous classes. You can look at the recording. In case you are unable to understand any topic, you can ask from me. Fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Same Sudhanshu, since you didn't even know what does this balanced unbalanced equation known as, you also revise the videos properly. Otherwise, then how will you understand what I'm going to teach further? Fine. So I request you all to revise all the topics which we do in the previous class so that the next class is much more easier for everyone. Fine? Okay, children. Today we are going to start with the very, very important topic, which is balancing of the equations. I'll tell you a very few and a very simple rules which you can keep in mind while balancing the equation, right? So first and foremost thing is you will write all the atoms on the reactant as well as the product side on LHS and RHS. Now it should be understandable for you that LHS is the reactant and RHS is the product. Even if I'm not writing it, you have to understand. Fine. So first, all the atoms have to be written, then number of atoms have to be written, and then we have to multiply the atoms looking at the unequal numbers to make them equal. Looking at the unequal number to make them equal. Unequal number to make them equal. I'll start with a very, very simple example. If in case anyone is unable to understand the example, you can ask from me, and everyone will do one side.
Ma'am,
Explain.
please show that first step, ma'am. I'm still ready.
I hope it is visible. So I'm starting with a very, very simple equation, which is H2O gives H2 plus O2. So the first step is Rn, and who else was speaking right now? I think Rn only spoke now. But listen to me first, then I can give you some time to write down, because I don't want you to miss out on the easy equations. Because if you all understand the easy equations, the difficult equations becomes easy, right? So first you understand, then I can give you some time. So the first step is to write LHS, and then you have to write RHS. Then you have to draw the line, okay? So as to differentiate. On LHS, what atoms can you see? Dhriti, can you tell?
Ma'am,
Hydrogen and
oxygen.
Abhike, can you tell me what atoms can you see on the RHS?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Children, one very, very important thing. This is the simplest equation. You will be able to understand it within few seconds. But then when the equations are very complicated compared to this one, then what are you going to do? Then you have to remember one thing, that whatever atoms, not the number I'm saying, I'm talking about the atoms. Whatever the atoms are present on the reactant side now, they will be present on the product side also. It will never happen that on the reactant side hydrogen is there and on the product side hydrogen is missing. No, that is never going to be the case. If in case the reactant has nitrogen, product is going to have nitrogen every time. Fine. Otherwise, you are missing out on something. Fine. Next. Okay, Ayanaja, can you tell me the number of hydrogen and oxygen atoms on the left hand side, or means the reactant side?
Ma'am, on hydrogen is 2
Very good.
and oxygen is 1.
Yes, oxygen is 1. Good. Now next to Meher, can you tell me, looking at the number on the RHS side, product side, how many hydrogen and oxygen are there? Can you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many?
2,
And what about oxygen?
1,
No. Look at the number here.
2.
What is the number? 2. Yes. Children, just one thing I will like to tell you, that you have to look at the numbers which are present at the bottom. Fine, these numbers are the number of atoms which are present in any atom or molecule. Fine, in any element or in any compound. And second important thing you have to make sure is that you will be not changing any formulas during the entire balancing. Like if you write H2O as H2O2, no children, it is incorrect. You cannot change the formula. Why you cannot change the formula? Because every formula is made using the valencies which you must have studied in class 9th. I hope everyone studied how to make the formulas in class 9th. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
So you cannot use the formulas which are given in the question, and when later on I will give you some questions to write the formulas also by yourself. In that case also we will practice how to make the formulas so that you are easily able to do those equations also which doesn't have the formulas. Fine. So now, first of all, I would like to know from all of you why your videos are turned off. Aman, Shayan, Zoha, Subhansh has told me, Siddhishti also, I think. Please keep your videos on, nobody will turn it off. Fine. Aman, now you have to tell me here what is unbalanced. Aman, Aman, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me which atom is unbalanced in the equation which is there. We have written LHS and RHS.
Ma'am,
Which
is it
atom is
oxygen?
Sorry?
Is it oxygen?
Yes. See, children, on both the sides, the hydrogen atoms are same, but oxygen atoms are not same. So to make it same, I have written in the rule that we have to multiply. So here we have 2 oxygens, here we have just 1 oxygen. So to make both the oxygens equal, then what we are going to multiply with 1? Subhan, we are going to multiply this 1 by 2, so the total answer comes out to be 2. Now my point is, very important thing to be noted here. Where are you going to multiply this to? This is the reactant, fine. I'm writing this here once again. So on the LHS, oxygen has to be multiplied by 2. I will tell you what all you can do and what has to be done. What all the students tend to do, they tend to write the formula as this. It is incorrect. They tend to write this 2 here. This is also incorrect. Whenever we are multiplying any number, we always write the number in front of the compound or the element. Doesn't matter. Is it clear? Here oxygen is present in the compound. So this entire compound will be multiplied by the number 2. Clear, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now comes our next step. If we multiply, like for example in maths, what you do, if in case you have some constants, so if a number 2 is outside the bracket, you multiply this number 2 with both these terms, right? You write it as 4x and 6y, right? Am I right? So same thing to happen in our chemistry also, that if we have written a number 2 in front of a compound, listen carefully, if we are writing a number in front of a compound, then that number is multiplied with all the atoms in the compound, which means this number 2 will be multiplied by hydrogen also and oxygen also. Oxygen we have already shown. So now the total hydrogen becomes 4. Whereas if you look at the product side, now our hydrogen were only 2. So to make the hydrogen, now the hydrogen becomes unequal. So to make both the sides hydrogen equal, what are we going to do? Who will tell me?
Ma'am, we will multiply the RHS.
By
Ma'am, because we have to make the hydrogen atoms same.
I'm asking by what number you're going to multiply?
Ma'am, by 2.
Hydrogen will be specifically only hydrogen now. Why? Because here the hydrogen is an element, not a compound. So hydrogen gets multiplied by 2. So 2 multiplied 2 is 4. Now hydrogen becomes equal. Oxygen are 2 here. On the product side also oxygen are 2. So our final balanced equation becomes 2H2O gives 2H2 plus O2. Is it clear, everyone? Were you all able to understand how we did this one? Anyone who
ma'am.
understand? Let's move to the second one, and let me give you 2 minutes if you can try to solve this equation. Let me see who is Very smart to solve this. Don't worry. Even if you don't know, that's totally okay because it's just the second equation. I'm sure by the end you will be able to do all of them. So everyone is requested to try, but I will give you just 2 minutes to try.
Ma'am, completed.
Completed. You may write it in the chat so that I can see. But I'll just see if it all chat.
Ma'am, only have to write the formula.
Or just wait for a minute. We will just ask everyone if everyone has done because my meeting settings are in a different device. I cannot control it. Fine. So we'll wait for everyone. I hope everyone is doing.
Done, ma'am.
How many of you have done? Can you raise the hand so that I get to know? Aryan, Ritti, Abhinav also said so. Zoha, Chayan, very nice. Sudhamshu, Siddhishri, Subhansh, Meher, Ayonija, Aman, Abhigya. Are you trying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Abhigya has done. Aman, Ayonija.
Ma'am, I'm doing it.
Okay. Meher.
Ma'am, I'm doing it.
Okay. Subhan,
Ma'am, 1 minute.
Siddhishri.
Ma'am, I'm doing it.
Okay. Sudhamshu.
Ma'am, I'm not yet done.
You've not yet done. Fine. Let us ask the answer first, then I can explain you, and then we can move to the next equation. I will give the chance to RN, okay, because you did it you did the fastest. Fine, let me see if you've done it correctly also or not. So yeah,
Ma'am, N is 2 LHS and H has 2 atoms.
no, you tell, like, okay. Children, just one very important thing. How do you like tell that what is the balanced equation? Like I will explain you this so that you can answer the next one the way I want you to answer, no? Because the way I am telling you to answer is the same way you have to answer when you're speaking the equation. So how do we speak about the balanced equation? It is 2H2O gives arrow means gives 2H2O gives 2H2 plus O2. Clear? Now can you tell me what you have done?
Ma'am, should I tell everything or only the formula equation?
One like this one. Like I've written this one you have to tell it this one, like this one.
And and N2 plus 3H2 gives 2 NH3.
Very good. How lower your hands and tell me whosoever got this one correct. But you have to be honest about it because if you don't know, then I can of course explain it. Meher,
Ma'am,
will
I
you
got it.
be able to do? Will you were able to do?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I will explain it for the ones who could not do it, and then we will move to the next one. Fine. Okay, children. Just a second. So first and foremost thing is I will ask the children who could not do it correctly only. Fine, so that they are able to understand. Let us start with Meher with the LHS. Meher, just tell me what are the atoms which are present on the LHS?
Nitrogen and hydrogen.
Very good. And what about the product? Can you tell?
Same.
Sorry?
Same N and H.
Same at all times. I
Yes.
just said so. Okay, who else didn't get it correct? Sudhamshu, can you tell the number of atoms on the left hand side?
3.
Nitrogen, how many are there?
2.
Very good. And hydrogen?
3.
So how come 3? On the left hand side means the reactant side. On the reactant side, beta, this is the reactant side. So how many hydrogens are there on the reactant side?
2.
Very good. Okay, now Shayan, can you tell me about the number of atoms on the product side of hydrogen? and nitrogen both?
Nitrogen is 1, hydrogen is 3.
Very nice. Siddhishri, can you tell me now what do we do? Since all the atoms are unequal, then what do we do?
We should multiply.
What and where and by what number? Multiplying is okay, but where and what number? Shayan, can you tell?
What? Ma'am?
Hmm?
Can you repeat the question?
I am asking by what number we should multiply which atom? See children, on both the sides, nitrogen are also unequal and hydrogen are also unequal. So if we look at nitrogen, there are 2 nitrogen atoms on left hand side and on the product side, there is only 1 nitrogen atom. So to make them equal, what are we going to do? Who is going to tell me?
Ma'am, on RHS side, we are and मतलब 1 को we will multiply it by 2 to make the
Side, not LHS side.
RHS.
Yes, so we will multiply it by 2. So I told you whenever we are multiplying the number always come in front of the entire compound, right? So as per this, the nitrogen becomes 2. But how many hydrogens are there now? Aryan? Aryan? Zoha?
Yes, ma'am.
How many hydrogens are there, beta?
Ma'am, could you repeat?
I am asking how many hydrogens are there?
In total, in RHS,
After multiplying this product side by 2, now total hydrogen becomes how many in number?
6.
Yes, because if you multiply this also by 2, so this becomes 6. Now if you look at nitrogen, they are equal now. But if you look at the product, the hydrogens are 6, but hydrogen on the reactant side is only 2. So we will multiply by what number on the reactant side?
3.
Very good. So we are going to multiply it by 3 so as to make them equal. And this is our equation. That's what we said. Meher, now clear, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others? Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Could not understand, please ask. Then we will move to the next equation. Siddhi and Sudhamshu, is it clear, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Sudhamshu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children. Now again, I'll give you just 1 minute now because it's a very, very easy peasy question. But let me just think. Okay. Very easy, very, very easy. And this answer will be given to me by only and only Meher. But you have to attempt. Everyone else. Don't think in your mind, do in the notebook.
Ma'am, only Meher should answer, right?
Hmm?
Only Meher should answer, right?
Meher?
Only Meher should answer, right?
Ma'am, can I answer?
Manoj. Because he did not understand the previous one.
Ma'am, can I answer?
Who has done? Subhash. Subhash, just wait for a minute. Let me just see if he is able to understand. Unless everyone has done. Abhinav done? Very good. Ayanija?
Ma'am, doing.
Doing. Zoha done? Very good. Aryan?
I'm doing, ma'am.
Okay, beta.
But
Vritti?
ma'am, I got the answer.
But you don't have to think in your mind. You have to do it in the notebook because in the paper also you cannot just think and tell that you have done.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So you have to do it in the notebook. Because we will, when we start with the easy equations, later the equations will get a little tougher also.
Yes,
Meher, are you done? Can we start?
Ma'am, just a minute.
Ma'am, I've done.
Who is left except Meher? Siddhi, have you done, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Shayan done?
I'm completed.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Sudhanshu done?
Just 1 second.
Sudhanshu not done?
1 second.
Okay, then 1 second after either you or Meher, both of you will, either of you can answer. But be quick there. Meanwhile, others can try the next question. Fine. Okay. Yes, Meher, now you have done the previous one, dear, C part.
No, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Sudhanshu, have you done?
No, ma'am.
No, you are not able to understand Sudhanshu and Meher. I can explain you better. Don't be afraid. And you can please ask. Meher and Sudhanshu, shall I explain these to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Meanwhile, I just would like to know the answer from Abhinav. Can you tell the answer and then I will explain. Meanwhile, you all can do the next part.
The Mg plus O2 one.
2 mg plus O2 gives?
2 MgO.
Very good. You all can try the next one. Meanwhile, Meher and Sudhanshu understand it clearly once again. Children, see, again we will be writing LHS and RHS. Again, we will be writing about the elements which are present or the atoms which are present on the LHS and RHS. That's what you must have done, right? Meher, this much you had done?
Yes, ma'am.
And Sudhanshu, this much you had done?
Yes, ma'am.
So now if we will write the number of atoms which were present initially, fine, without the balancing. So the number of atoms of magnesium is just 1 and of oxygen it is?
2.
Very good. On the product side, the number of atoms of magnesium are?
Both 1.
Both 1. Very nice. So see children, both of you specifically see, both the magnesiums are already equal. We don't need to work on them, right? But if you look at oxygen, on the reactant side, there are 2 and on the product side, there is just 1. What are you going to do?
Multiply 2 and 1.
Multiply only 2. Yeah, 2 and 1 means 1 multiplied by 2. It gives you 2. Where are you going to write this number? In front
Before mg. In front of mg.
MgO.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So we wrote this number 2 in front of MgO. Till here you had done.
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, what we are going to do, as soon as we write the number in front of any compound, then we multiply this number with both the elements which are present. So now the magnesium also becomes how many in number? 2. But
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
reactant side, there was only 1. So we have to multiply the reactant side of magnesium also by. Got it, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
You can try the next question then. Yes. Is there anyone who has done the D part?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, I did.
Abhinav done?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. I think you are able to understand then. Zoha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who all have done? Can you all raise the hands if you have done? Aryan, Shayan, very good. Zoha, Riddhi, good. Abhinav, good. Abhigya, trying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Aman?
Ma'am, I'm trying.
Okay. Okay, we will wait for everyone else also to finish this one. This is a slight level up than the previous questions.
Ma'am, I can't understand this one.
No problem. I'm there to explain, but I will like to wait for. Shall I wait or shall I explain? If you are able to do, then I will wait. Otherwise, I can explain. I mean, I will not explain. I'll ask you people only to answer. Okay, those who haven't done till now, let us ask from them. Let's start from Abhigya. Abhigya, tell me only the atoms present on the left hand side.
Ma'am, iron 1 and HCl 2.
No, that's not the way to answer. Aman, can you tell me? I'm asking about the atoms, not the compound.
Ma'am, 1 Fe,
Hmm.
1 H,
Hmm.
1 Cl.
Good. Now, Ionija, can you tell me about the products?
Ma'am, Fe is 1, Cl is 3,
Hmm.
and hydrogen is 2.
Okay. Is there any child who has not done till here also? Anyone? Sudhamshu? Sudhamshu?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do till this point?
No, ma'am.
No, you haven't.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you understood till this point? Beta, did you understand what I have written till now in this equation?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Beta. See, look at the left hand side. Left hand side means before the arrow is the left hand side and after the arrow is the right hand side. So we have to look for all the atoms which are present. So we will look for the first atom, that is Fe. I have written. When there is no number mentioned in front of any atom, that means that only one atom is there. Then we look at this compound which is given. It is HCl, means hydrogen atom is there, chlorine atom is there. And since there is no number, means one hydrogen and one chlorine atom is there. Clear? Now we look at the product side. This is a compound which is given in the question. And in this compound, if you see in front of Fe or under Fe, there is no number written, which means that only one Fe is present. But if we look at the chlorine, then there is a number 3 which is written with chlorine. Means there are 3 chlorine atoms which are present. Then we look at plus, means the next molecule. It is hydrogen. Number 2 is written, which means total number of hydrogen which are present are 2. Now, Sudhamshu, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about Meher and Subhash and others?
Ma'am, it's clear for me.
Till here, right? Now let us move further. Okay. Now we have to make sure that all the atoms are equalized on the reactant and the product side. So iron is already clearly equal till now. Hydrogen and chlorine are not equal. So you people tell me from where should I start? Any one of you can decide.
Ma'am, hydrogen
Start
we should
from-
multiply by 2 on the LHS.
On the LHS, we are going to multiply hydrogen by 2.
And chlorine by 3.
But now, wait, you cannot do everything together. You have to go step by step. If you multiply hydrogen by 2, then what is going to be observed? You have to write the number 2 in front of HCl, which makes chlorine now 2. Hydrogens are now definitely equal, right? But then now the chlorine atoms on the reactant side becomes 2 and the product side becomes 3. How do you make them equal?
Ma'am,
Multiply by? I couldn't hear.
6.
yes,
3.
ma'am. Instead of 2, we should have multiplied with 6. HCl.
Just wait. So now, for now, whatever is done is not incorrect, children. First of all, let me tell you. You are correct that we have to multiply by 6. That is one way of doing. But what is done till now is not incorrect, children. It is also correct. Now, chlorine becomes 2. Let me erase all of this and write 2 in front of chlorine, because when we multiplied HCl by 2, the chlorine became 2. Right? Now, when we have to equalize chlorine on the left hand side and the right hand side, can I multiply chlorine by 3 and on the product side, can I multiply it by 2? Yes,
Yes,
can I? Then also the chlorine becomes equal, na? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So where is chlorine on the reactant side? In this HCl?
FeCl3.
So, no, on the reactant side. It
Ma'am,
is in.
HCl.
So already number 2 was there. We have to multiply this number 2 with what number? 3. So total becomes 6. Understood? We multiplied the number 2 which was already written by this number 3. Clear? Now you have to multiply with number 2 here in front of FeCl3. Why? Because we have to make the chlorine atoms equal. Clear? Now chlorine are equal, but now if you look at all the numbers again, and let us write all the numbers again on the reactant and the product side after multiplying with all of this. So iron now on the reactant side is
1,
1. Hydrogen, how many are there, Zoha?
1, 6.
Sorry?
6.
Very good. Chlorine, how many are there, Meher?
Ma'am, 6.
Very good. Rn, can you tell me the iron atoms on the product side?
Ma'am, 2.
Very good. Subhansh, can you tell me the chlorine atoms on the product side?
3.
No. Look
6.
carefully. Yes, it's 6. What about, oh, sorry, I wrote it at the wrong place. Chlorine is 6. What about hydrogen on the product side, Siddhishri? 2. Very good. Now again, there are so many unequal atoms. So we have to make them equal. How come? Tell me. Fe will be multiplied by what number?
2 on LHS.
Yes, so 2 will come here. And now if iron becomes equal, but now hydrogen is still unequal. Now what we are going to do? We are going to multiply this 2 with
3.
so as to make them equal. So we will write a number 3 in front of it. So our final equation becomes 2Fe plus 6HCl gives 2FeCl3 plus 3H2. Anyone who could not understand this? Yes? Everyone understood now? Children, I will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
only 5 equations to try, and you have to try those 5 equations because on Sunday you have the test also. So you have to look for 1 or 2 relatable questions, but they won't be very tough. So in case anyone finds any difficulty in solving those 5 questions, you have to ask me before your test as a doubt. Am I making it clear to everyone? You have to complete those just 5 equations I will give you as homework. You have to complete those and come up with the doubt if you have any, because I expect you all to do well in the test. Fine? So all the best everyone for the test. I'll see you all on next Monday. In case anyone has any doubt, you may please ask from me before attempting your test on the next Saturday or Sunday. Fine?
Okay.
Okay. Everyone
Bye.
have a good day. Bye everyone.
Bye, ma'am.
Children.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Have a good.
Okay, bye.